Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cheryl. If you're new, welcome to the C Squad. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again. Today we are back with a highly requested video. This is my everyday makeup routine. Now, little disclaimer, I don't do my makeup every day. I only really do it on special occasions like events and parties, and also when I'm filming YouTube videos. And it's also definitely not a no makeup routine. It is definitely full glam. If I wanted to look like I wasn't wearing makeup, I just wouldn't wear makeup. By the way, I will also have all the products I used linked down below. Before we get into it, please like this video and subscribe for more post-grad lifestyle videos and vlogs. And if you'd like to go the extra mile to support my channel, you can go down in the menu bar below and send me a super thanks for as little as £2 or 30 Rand. I would really appreciate it. It helps my channel out so much. Without further ado, let's get into it. Before I get started with my makeup, I like to prep my lips. This is a set from Makeup Revolution. It's a lip scrub, a lip mask, and some pH lip oil. I don't always use the lip oil, so I'm not going to use that today. So I start off with my lip scrub and then I go in with the lip mask. So the tools I use are these brushes. These are from a company called Makeup by Tammy, one of my favorite beauty YouTubers, Tammy Clark's company. I absolutely love these and I love the colors and everything. And then I also use this Morphe brush. It is super precise and I use it on my lower lash line. I also use a beauty blender. It is literally so spongy. It is the best. I love it. I start off by prepping my face with the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I saw this go viral on TikTok and I just had to get it. I love marshmallows and this literally smells like marshmallows. Oh, I love it. So I pretty much take a little bit of this and I go on my T-zone. After that, I go in with foundation. This is my foundation combination. It has taken me so long and I have bought so many foundations trying to find my shade. I don't think I'm ever gonna find my shade. All of them ended up being really orange on my face. I saw this on TikTok once again. It's a mixing pigment and the blue pigment is supposed to neutralize the tone. For foundation, I use the True Skin Hydrating Foundation in the shade Warm Caramel and Neutral Pecan. I think Warm Caramel is closer to my shade. I think it's a little bit light, but it is very warm. The next color is Neutral Pecan, which is a neutral tone that I like, but it is a little bit too dark for me. That is why I mix the two and neutralize as much as I can with this. So I go on the back of my hand and I do one drop with each product. I mean, it's not a great match, but it's as good as we're gonna get. And then I just dab my face. I do go down my neck just a little bit, just to make it, you know, seem like it's more of a match than it is. And now that I officially look crazy, I blend it out with my beauty blender. It's definitely not full coverage because you can still see a little bit of my spots and stuff, but I really like it. Then I go in with concealer. This is literally my favorite concealer. It's a little bit on the pricier side. I think it's like £12 on Beauty Bay if I'm not mistaken, but it is definitely worth it. I use concealer under my eyes, on my forehead, chin, here above my mouth, and then I do a nice little line on my nose. It's usually a lot straighter than that. I blend out all the areas except under my eyes. I like to keep that on longer because I think it gives me more full coverage. I don't know how I'm gonna blend out this concealer without looking crazy. Everybody makes weird faces when they're doing their makeup, so don't judge me. I love this concealer. Then I go in with my setting powder under my eyes and I leave the rest of my face until a little bit later because I have more liquid products. But if I don't set my under eyes now, they will crease and that won't be a cute look. I try not to do too much. Just take my beauty blender. Now for contour and bronzer, I use this liquid blusher. I don't know why it's called a blusher because it's definitely for bronzing, but this liquid blusher from Made by Mitchell. You guys see me do this a lot in my videos because I'm always getting ready. I just go in on my cheekbones, around the side of my head, and then I start to blend with this angled brush. I only do a little of my face at a time because this dries up so quickly. I also go down this area to just get that chiseled look. Then I do the exact same thing on the other side. We've done the jawline, but don't forget to do under your chin. Then I love a good nose contour. This is why I love this liquid bronzer. This is so precise that I can literally carve out the sides of my nose like this. I try and get as straight of a line as I can down the bridge of my nose, and then I do like a little point on the end of my nose. Then I take my beauty sponge and I try and get it as thin as possible like this, and I go down the sides of my nose and just try and blend it out to get a straight line, and also going up to the arch of my brow just to make sure that it kind of like starts from somewhere. Then I go in with a liquid blush. This is also from Made by Mitchell, and this is in the shade A Shy Boy. So like the bronzer, this dries down so quickly. Typically, I would put it directly on my cheeks and then I'll try and blend it out and it would look splotchy. It was not the look. What I do now is I put a little bit of this on my hand, obviously remembering to take off the foundation that was once here. Then I take this big fluffy brush and I swirl my brush in this to try and get an even coat, and then I go on my cheeks. I love blush. I think blush is like my favorite thing, and I'm so glad that people have gotten into it, because at some point people really were not a fan of blush, but I knew blush was that girl. And I usually dab on the blush a lot just because throughout the day it's like the first thing to fade. This is what I mean when I say my makeup routine is a lot and it might seem a little bit tedious to some people. I enjoy doing my makeup as a form of art and expression. I do like having a lot of steps because that means I can sit down for an hour, play my music, and just have a little me time. It's a little bit of self-care time. So to set my bronzer, I go in with this contour palette from Revolution. I love products that smell like something, and this smells just like chocolate. And I go back with the same angled brush and I go along the same areas. I really like this because it sets the contour and it lasts longer. Then I try and go so lightly on my nose because I feel like we did so well with the liquid one, so I don't want to like overdo it, but I literally just graze the sides of my nose. Then I go in with my setting powder on the rest of my face. I kind of semi-bake, so I go in with a ton of setting powder, primarily focusing on my forehead, also doing a tiny bit here on my jawline. I place a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose. I also go on my chin and here, basically everywhere where basically everywhere where I put my concealer. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute and I'm gonna look crazy, but it is what it is. Let's set our liquid blush with one of my favorite palettes ever. This is from BH Cosmetics. It is the Glowing in Grease 6-color blush and highlighter palette. I love this thing, but it is so pigmented. So I go in with the shade Perus and I dab just a little bit. I just dab ever so lightly and then go in with highlighter with this, what would I call it? It's almost like a flat blending brush. I just use that to go down the bridge of my nose. I really like the shade Olympia. I also go above my cheeks. And then I go on my Cupid's bow. Okay, I think I can dust off the rest of this powder. I actually left it a lot longer than I would usually. Then for eyebrows, I use the Brow Laminate from Makeup Revolution. This comes with two sides. You have the pencil here, and then you have like a gel at the bottom. Now I kind of like my eyebrows the way that they are. I don't really like filling them in. I literally just use this for the gel. Basically just use it to tame my brows. I basically try and like flip my brows up. On to my favorite part of my makeup routine aside from the blush. This is where I get really creative. It is eyeshadow. So my favorite palettes for really colorful eyeshadow are the Age of Opulence palette by Beauty Bay and the Carnival 3 Love Tahiti palette. Typically when I'm doing a colorful eyeshadow look, I'll actually start with my eyes and then do everything after, just because the shadows are super pigmented. They'll get on the makeup and really cling on, especially glitter. But because this is an everyday look and the colors that I use are kind of tame, I don't really do that. This is the Rain palette from Sample Beauty. So I go in with the same brush that I used for my highlighter, and I go into this brown color called Squire. Go on the outer corner of my eye. I'm realizing now that I maybe should have zoomed you guys in for my eyes. Then I go in with this round fluffy brush. I go into Squire once again, but this time I go in the crease. Then I go on my lid with a nice little sparkle. I go in with Elizabeth. I use my finger just like that and I dab on my lid. Now for more blending, I'm gonna go back with the brush that we did the outer corners with and just blend it so that the transition isn't too harsh. Then lastly, I take this Morphe brush and go under my lash line, and once again with the shade Squire. Then more steps for my eyes. I go back in with the same contour palette that we were using earlier. I go into this pearl shade. I use this brush, spray this with my setting spray, avoid as much fallout as possible. Then, wow, I got that all over my mirror. And then I go on the inner corner of my eyes just for a little sparkle. I just feel like it brightens my eyes so much. If I was a talented makeup artist or hobbyist or whatever, I would probably do liner and maybe even a lash. Unfortunately, I spent the whole of lockdown trying to learn how to do liner and put on lashes, and it just didn't work out. I'm not very good at it. So then we've got mascara. Don't judge me. I use two different mascaras and I'll explain why. I like to use the NYX Worth the Hype waterproof mascara. It really separates my lashes because sometimes they get clumped together with other mascaras, but I go super subtly with this. I literally scrape off most of the product and I go in on my upper lashes. And then I go in with another viral TikTok makeup item. This is the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational. This really elongates your lashes. And then for lips, we've got 4 different products. I am too much. Then I go in with this lip liner from Barry M in the shade Chocolate. And I just line my lips. I kind of like do markings on my lips. And then I go in with my lipstick. They're both from Revolution Pro. The first one I use is Naked Beauty. It's a nice beige shade. I use it on the outer parts of my lips, if that makes sense. Then I use the same lipstick except in the shade Sooner or Later, and it's more pinky, and I do that kind of in the center. Then I go in with this Aurora Shine lip gloss from Makeup Academy. I actually take it on my finger just because it gives me more control, and I dab it. Then the last step in my makeup routine is my setting spray. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is a game changer. It is my favorite setting spray. I've used 1,000,001. It's a little bit more on the pricey end, but it is totally worth it. And I go ham on my face. So I also use my fan sometimes to just help the drying process. So that is it for my everyday makeup routine. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join the C Squad, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!